This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 18. And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord power, that my fury shall come up in my face. Verse 19. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 18 through 19, is that reports are coming in how the Russians are protesting, meaning they're highly upset. There's an outcry, okay, regarding a recent JJ strike that occurred yesterday near the Bashor nuclear plant, okay? Now, the reason why the Russians are protesting against it and they're getting upset about it is that it was well known throughout the international community that the Russians were assisting and providing support in a $25 billion nuclear plant deal to help build nuclear reactors so that Iran, could continue to supply electricity to their citizens throughout the country, because Iran was having electricity shortages at times of high demand. All right, so Iran and Russia cut a deal last year, which this even went to the United Nations, and they signed a $25 billion nuclear plant deal. All right, so this was well known. Everybody knew about it, especially the JJs, the 1948ers, the small hats, and of course America, Babylon the Great. However, okay, it seems that the JJs, the 1948 small hats, are not giving a damn about this deal, okay? And I'm going to include America as well, okay? Because America and them JJs are joined to the hip, okay, regarding what's being targeted, okay? I can prove that with CENTCOM. You know what? Let me prove that. Check this out. CENTCOM Israel Cooperation, okay, program. Since 2021, U.S. Central Command CENTCOM has integrated JJ into its area of responsibility to foster security cooperation with regional partners, focusing on air defense, maritime security, and intelligence sharing against shared threats like Iran. So there you go, okay? So America was fully aware of where these JJs were striking, okay? And have been striking. Don't let the mainstream media fool you that, from this meathead, P. Hegseth, well, the JJs have their own mission, and we here, America, we have our own mission. That's all BS. They're intertwined, okay? All right? So now, okay, what them JJs did, and America was fully aware, is pissing off the Russians. And this is all fulfillment, all right? This is all the fulfillment of Ezekiel chapter 38. Ezekiel chapter 38 is in play. We're in real time now, okay? All right? So as you can see, the Lord is making sure that these Russians are fully committed to destroying the statehood of the JJs, pursuant to what I just read, Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 18. And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog, okay, who is Gog? That's the modern day Russians. Fact check, fact check. Check this out. Are the Russians considered Gog in Ezekiel 38? Okay. Many Bible commentators and prophecy teachers, and we here at Great Millstone, through the Spirit and Power Yahweh Bashim Shai, we are the top prophets of the world. We can say that humbly and confidently. Okay. Interpret Gog in Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 39 as future leader of Russia. Okay. It's just Russia. Okay. It is Russia, with Magog representing the nation or region, meaning the region, the land, okay, of Russia. That's why when you go to Ezekiel 38, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, okay? That's the land. And that modern day land is where the Russians are at today. The chief prince of Mechesh. Chief, okay, the apostle elders always go into this word, all right? Chief meaning the head, okay? Ra'ash, and that's where you get Russia from. Prince meaning the Hebrew word is shar, of Mechesh. This is where you get Moscow, and Tobolsk. And if you do research on where the ancient city of Tobolsk was, it's modern day Serbia. So this is talking about Russia, okay? And prophesy against him, right? What we're saying is that the Russians, telling these Russians, you're going to be used to attack the statehood of the JJs as well as America, Babylon the Great, in this World War III, okay, which is here. It's not coming soon. It's here, accepted. All right, remember this sign? Okay. I remember watching our apostles and elders and beloved brothers in New York, all right, with these signs. You know, remember this sign? Remember this sign? Okay? Because this is leading to America's destruction, thanks to these JJs, these 1948, the small hats. The least of the flock shall draw them out. Okay? And again, this is all the fulfillment of prophecy. This is the will of the Lord. Okay? Ezekiel 38 is in play, is in real time. So let's read a little bit of this article here. Wait, no. Before I read, I want to read 3 and 4. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I'm against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Mechesh and Tubal. Right, again, the Lord is against the Russians. He's just using the Russians as a pawn, all right, to fulfill prophecy. 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And this is clearly what the Lord is doing, all right, by making sure that these JJs piss off the Russians, and America piss off the Russians. And I will bring thee forth and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay? And the Russians have the technology, they have the military might, all right? And now they're making money, thanks to the Donald Trump stupidity by well, again, he's not in control. He's controlled by the JJs, the 1948ers, the small hats, okay? With that whole Strait of Hormuz, right, situation. And it's clearly evident that America is losing the battle in that area. The fact that you have to complain to NATO for not assisting, and how he's disappointed with NATO not helping out and opening up the Strait of Hormuz, this goes to show you that America is losing, okay? They're being reactive, okay? The Iranians are in control. Let's just put it that way. The Iranians are in control, all right? And they've said it. They're not negotiating, okay? They're in a war of attrition against America. They want to bleed America out financially, okay? Their munitions, okay? This is why those interceptors are there's a low amount of interceptors, and then you have the South Koreans screaming and yelling. Um, what's it called? Saying, why are you removing these interceptors? We need them for North Korea and China. All right. But yeah, this is all uh, being set up so that America loses. Okay. And again, America is having a hard time with these Iranians. How much more with Russia? Verse 5, Persia, that's the Iranians, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Right. Okay. So who's backing the Persians? The Russians. Okay. And this is, you're going to see more information coming out how Russia not only supplying intelligence, all right, is supplying weapons. Okay. You're going to see Russian operators, Russian operators being revealed that they were there in Iran the whole time, because again, these hypersonic missiles are coming from Russia. They're the ones that are helping Iran to operate it. Okay? When it comes to the S-300, the S-400s, okay? So yeah, it's getting spicy. So it makes sense why these JJs are now attacking, okay, near this power plant where Russian scientists are living at. Because right here it says Russia has lodged an official protest with the JJs following airstrike near Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant, warning of potential risk to Russian personnel working at the facility. Right, and again, this is well known. Everybody knows that the Russians are there helping out Iran, all right, provide electricity to their country. And this makes sense why the JJs are attacking near it, because they, again, Iran is still having electricity. The military still has electricity. So Iran, okay, is not suffering as the Western media is saying, because of Russia, okay, providing the electricity they need for them to function as a society, as a country. So that's why the JJs are threatening Russia, okay, as well as America, to, saying, hey, get up out of there, but it's not going to happen. $25 billion, man. 25 billion smackaroos, man. It's a lot of money. Okay, you fucking with the money. Anyway, continuing on. Hey, man, you got to see how the Lord gets down in these war fronts, man. The Lord is the master at this, man. The Lord is a man of war. I gotta bring that out. Like, you could see why, the Lord is making it work to make sure that prophecy is fulfilled. Okay, what is it? Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name, right? The Lord is a man of war. Okay. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name, right? His name is worded to be praised, okay, and glorified, okay? So this is the Lord doing it, okay? Just like he took down Pharaoh and his armies, all right? He's taking down these Edomites and their armies, okay? Making sure that they destroy each other, all right? Because the Russians are Edomites too. They're just playing the role of the opposition so that prophecy can be fulfilled. So let's continue on. According to political sources cited by the JJ newspaper Ma'ariv, Moscow sent a formal protest via its embassy in the statehood of the JJs. Wow. After strike targeted an area close to the residency, meaning the dwelling place, of Russian experts involved in operating the plant. The sources said Russia stressed that the location of its personnel was known in advance. Right, this because of this deal. Everybody knew about it. It went up to the United Nations. Okay. In advance, and that the strike took place near their accommodation, raising serious safety concerns. It remains unclear whether the residencies were directly hit. We'll know if it was directly hit to see how Russia engages more with Iran in terms of support. We're going to see. Okay, they've been supporting it, but there's going to be more articles saying, that Russia's doing this for Iran. So it's getting spicy. But again, however, again, this is the prophecy being fulfilled, man. The Lord is making sure Ezekiel 38 is in play. It's in real time now. Okay? And the Lord can't stand these Amalekites. These are the Amalekites, these JJs, these 1940s, these small hats. Exodus chapter 17, verse 16. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation and generation. Right. And this is how the Lord is having war with Amalek. All right. Making sure that they're constantly in conflict and turmoil, and making sure that, okay, they can never, ever, okay, have peace. Okay. So, this whole greater state of the JJ project, it's going to fail. All right. Because these JJs are never going to have peace. The scripture said that the Lord will have war with them from generation to generation. They'll never have peace. Okay. There'll be no peace in that region. Let me bring this out too, because this is you could clearly see Armageddon is being literally set up right before your very eyes. Revelation chapter 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. Right. This is to our people. All right. The ones that are blessed, okay, are the elective of Israel. Okay. Because they understand what this all means. They got the understanding, okay, of the prophetic scriptures. They got the truth, because what is keepeth his garments mean? The wisdom and understanding of the scriptures, right? So the only ones that are blessed are the elect of the nation of Israel, because they clearly see where this is leading to, okay? Our salvation and these heathens, okay, judgment. Lest he walk naked and see his shame, right? And you got a lot of our people who see this, and it doesn't move them. It doesn't motivate them to seek the Lord. They're like, okay, that doesn't have nothing to do with me. I'm over here in America getting high, okay, being a harlot, or for the women that are being harlots in the streets, or the men being adulterers, right? Whether it be physically or spiritually, okay? That's them walking in nakedness, all right? And that's a shame to them. And that's why they're going to be judged, all right? And that's why when the scriptures talk about being shamefaced, that's them being shamefaced in the kingdom of heaven, okay? Which proves reincarnation, all right? Because that prophecy has to be fulfilled, that for a period of time in the kingdom of heaven, those that rejected the Lord will have a shame face, okay? And you can read that in Daniel chapter 12, verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, all right? Or the Hebrew word for that is Harmageddon, which means mountain of troops. And you clearly see the Lord is setting it up. It's in real time now. Like, this is major, man, okay? All right? Now, look. Bashar is right here. Okay, first of all, let's get a view, okay, of where it's at. So this is the Persian Gulf. Bushar, however you pronounce it, Bushar, is right off the coast of the Persian Gulf. Okay, and look, they even got an airport because it makes sense. The Russians need to come here to work on this power plant to provide electricity for all the Iranian people. Okay, and their military too. All right, and now you're having the JJ striking this area or near it, threatening the Russians to stop helping them. But that's only going to piss off the Russians anymore. You're really poking the bear. Now, what's so interesting is that right near it is Kark Island. Is there some association between these two? Are there actually Russians on Kark Island? Are there Russians here? Okay, we'll see. All right, there's definitely Russians over here. So it's getting spicy, man. The Lord is cooking. The Lord is working. Okay? We don't have much time here. So if this is all happening, how close we are to the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Now I want to bring this out, and I'll close off with this. Hosea chapter 6, verse 5. Therefore have I hewed them hewed them by the prophets. Right, we hear the prophets. Again, we had signs like this, starting with our apostle elders for decades, right? Signs like this, once again, right? It's no longer coming soon, it's here, okay? And these are your major players: Russia, China, Iran, right? Okay? Signs like this, okay? We've been telling our people, okay, that this is coming to pass. All right? And the prophets are going to be Israelites, okay? That's who the Lord's dealing with. The prophets are coming out of the nation of Israel. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goes forth, right? Okay? Because this is the Lord's will, to bring forth judgment. Now, when you go to the AMP, therefore I have hewn them in pieces of the words of the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth. My judgments pronounced upon them by the prophets. Again, why is this all happening? For judgment. Okay? The Lord is judging these heathens, especially Esau, Edom, and especially the tribe of Amalek. Okay? They're going to get it. They're going to get it. Are like the light that shines forth, obvious to all. Right? They're not going to be able to build no third temple. This place is about to be rocked. Okay? And the Lord is making sure that the Russians are getting stirred up. Okay? Are getting irritated for that evil thought, so they can destroy the statehood of the jaded, because that place has got to be cleansed. Okay? And of course, Ezekiel 38, that prophecy has to be fulfilled. Okay? Let's read it one more time. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 18, it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come up against the land of Israel, saith the Lord power, that my fury shall come up in my face. 19. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking of the land of Israel. What's that shaking? Nuclear destruction. 20. So that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of heaven, the beasts of the field, and all creeping things that creep upon the earth, and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. Right? Okay? So the Russians are going to nuke that place. And it makes sense, because the Russians are going to have to do a preemptive strike on them JJs. All right? Because them JJs are out of control. And they have nuclear weapons. So why not? Okay? Why not do a preemptive strike? All right? It makes logical sense, given what the situation that's happening right before, okay, everyone's eyes. This is major. Okay? All right? This is how we know that we're close to getting up out of here. So, Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. We're just waiting for that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. We're not going to get up out of here until that chip is made mandatory. All right, but we're close. However, we're close. Once that chip is made mandatory, the nukes fly. So, Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem B'Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep the door, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. To the few sisters that are watching, keep studying when you pray. Pray your head cover. As you can see, we're getting close to getting up out of here. We're just waiting for that chip. Shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.